Cool. What is going on, guys? So, welcome to the Jukes Lounge. We do have, I think. Oh, I'm actually getting messages. Okay, that's fine. Basically, I think there was a little basically problem. Dude is on his way, I believe. Yeah, dude's on his way. He literally just messaged me. I was gonna just start the stream anyway, get some vibes going, because I wanted to keep things running before he gets here. But he is on his way. He's just messaged me, so he'll be here. Yeah, guys, how you all doing? So basically, today's episode is part 2 of our 3-part series looking at the element ecosystem, and basically doing like a deep dive into each protocol, right? So we started it with element 280. We did that last week. That was last Wednesday. And today I'm joined with the founder again. He's on his way shortly, and we're going to look into element 369, which is kind of the part 2 of the element ecosystem. So I'm very excited about that. I have made a diagram, so you guys will be able to see basically what's going on in the diagram. It's going to be broken down. I'll try to break things down as easy as I can. In terms of the length of this one, I think we can probably get through this one faster than before. Last stream was bad echo. Oh no. Is it still bad? Oh no. Technical difficulties. Technology. Why? I don't know if I can fix that now. Everything should be set the way it's set. I don't want to mess with things and then make it worse. Has anyone else got any bad echo problems? Okay, mic is fine. Okay, so it might just be, it may be a thing there. Okay, dude is here. I'm going to bring him in a second. I'll give him time to like set up his stuff because he's probably got to set up stuff. So yeah, basically we're going to look into E369 and find out basically about the protocol. I'm going to break it down with a diagram. And as I was saying, I think we'll get through this one a bit faster than before because, yeah, but we never know. We never know. Anyway, without further ado, guys, our good friend, the founder of Helios, Janus, Element 280, Element 369, and his next protocol that we will be doing a stream on, that is Stacks. We'll be doing one on that. So the founder of all these amazing protocols, guys, welcome into the stage. We've got Dude. Let's go. Dude, man,
Hey.
how you doing?
Oh, I am just everywhere right now, and I feel like I don't have my shit together. I totally, for whatever reason, thought this was an hour from now, and like I was even on YouTube, and it was saying starting at in 1 hour, and then next thing I know, it's starting. I'm like, how the hell? I feel like I'm cursed with the trying to get the global
No, don't worry. I
UTC
think
time.
Yeah, I think that was also my fault as well, because I realized when I went into the so basically, for those who don't know, we rescheduled the stream an hour earlier. But on the actual StreamYard thing, I didn't change that. So when I entered the room, like 15 minutes before we went live, I realized it says 7 o'clock. So I changed it quickly to 6 o'clock. So it may have been a bit of a it may have been a bit of that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. All good. We're here.
But we're here. That's the main thing. we keep going. I thought I would join anyway just to get some vibes going. By the way, guys, if my eyes look teary, I just have really watery eyes. I promise you, I'm not crying. There's too much gain to me. Look, this is what happens when the ecosystem goes down. Can you see that, guys? I just get teary eyes. It's a thing I have. But yeah, man. So obviously last time when we started, I asked you some questions by yourself, but we don't need to do that. What I'll do now is just ask you how things are going. I know Stacks is coming very soon, so we have a launch date for Stacks, right?
We do. Against my will. Utah just decided.
Are we back?
Yeah, are we good?
I don't know if I'm lost or he's lost.
Oh man, maybe it's me. Can you hear me?
Am I back? I don't know if it's do I have to have internet issues now, man? It's just the way it is. No, I think it's me. I can't send messages right now. Let me just double check. Yeah, it's me. It's definitely me. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Let's just see.
That's about how my day is going. Now he's officially frozen.
Okay, okay. I think I'm back. Can you hear me now? I can hear you.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Are we
Hey,
back?
I'll give you a pro
There we
tip.
go.
If your internet's really
Oh.
lagging out, turn your camera off, and it kills so much of your bandwidth usage. That's what I end up doing. Just turn it off for like
That's the
10
thing. Yeah.
seconds, and
I
then
think.
it'll reset your
Okay,
connection.
we'll do that now. Actually. Yeah,
There
that's
you
what
go.
I need because sometimes my internet just likes to act up on me. All right,
Oh
guys.
yeah.
There we are.
Yeah,
We're
I've
back.
got
Hopefully,
satellite,
hopefully
so
things are
I
better.
feel you.
See,
Yeah.
look, back crystal clear.
Yeah, your
Yeah,
audio
man.
is great.
Same. I haven't got internet. Audio is good.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a little bit of
Okay.
a delay on our chats, but yeah, other than that, we're fine.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So let's get. So what was that about the stacks? I asked that question and then the internet just went on us.
Oh yeah, I said our launch date is set against my will. Utah was too excited to not announce one, so yeah, we're official. Everybody's agreed. The auditors, the developers, we're all in agreement that this is a solid time frame. So that's what we're going with. And 22 is a great day. Like it's as far as numerology goes, like that the 22nd is amazing. So yeah, but
22nd
369.
of the 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get into 369. Let me share my screen. Hopefully my bandwidth can handle this right now. Come back.
Maybe I share
Believe in
my
me.
end.
Is there a way I can share the file with you? I probably can, to be honest.
Oh yeah, my bad. You've
Bang.
got your own.
Yeah. Yeah. Are we seeing this?
Not yet. There we go. Yeah, we're good.
Oh yeah. We got it. Cool. Let's get into it. So, Element 369 overview. This is Jukes the Great and Dude. So, yeah. So for those who have tuned in before, you know that I like to get through these diagrams. I like it because you can basically just see everything going on, and I feel like a lot of people, including myself, are quite visual. So I like to visually see things. You know, it can be a bit confusing with a bunch of words. So I like to add some little pictures here. So again, basically, this is the overview here. Is that clear? That's all clear, or should I zoom in more?
No, that's good.
That's good.
Yes, sir.
Sure. So basically, we've got we've got an interesting NFT. Basically, it's an NFT project. So I'm sure the dude has said it multiple times. It's the NFT expansion pack upon Element 280. So this is different though. So there are very interesting design differences between the NFTs in this game and the NFTs in the Element 280 game. So one of the key differences you'll see here is when you mint the NFTs, right? There's an earning side to it, so you earn rewards, and there's a backing side to it. And the backing is really the key difference, is that your backing isn't in a currency which is inherent to the NFT. It is backed by other tokens which build up over time. And as you can see here, we have 3 tokens which you're going to earn. You have Element, Flux, and Inferno. We'll get into how all of this works. This is just an overview. And the backing will again be in Element, Flux, and Inferno. So this seems to be, I would say, more on the kind of Inferno, that type of sub ecosystem. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, this is the Flux easy button. So Flux is built on top of Inferno. So it just made sense to like cater to that sector of users. I'm assuming if you're in Flux, you're in Inferno, and then Element 280 is obviously like the blending of our branding, our protocol with what they're doing. So yeah, and the backing, there's no new token here, so we couldn't just like give people instant backing, and so this is kind of how we tweaked it to be like the backing builds up the same as your earnings go. So yeah, I'm happy with how it's gone so far, honestly.
Yeah.
The first payout was amazing.
Yeah, first payout was insane, and I think it's one of those ones that will build up as it goes. We have seen some interesting activity today on the minting side of things. I'm sure we'll get to that later. But yeah, no, this is very interesting. Do you think with the backing, so for those who don't know, that in Element 280, the NFTs are backed. Let's say you put in 100 million Titan X to mint an NFT, they're backed by 100 million. Excuse me, 100 million Element. Whereas this one, that it builds up over time. Do you think that's going to give people a longer term mindset in this?
Yeah, I guess so. I say that, but like we've seen somebody burn their NFT with no backing. I'm not sure if there was
Whoa.
misunderstanding on how that works. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. So I would say yes, but then I can also say that the market's irrational and like you can never
Listen,
guess what they're gonna do.
guys, I might have included a special guest later on. He will be making appearance. He might have been the person who accidentally burned an NFT. Okay, he's not going to join the stream, but he's going to join the stream. You'll see what I mean. Anyway, we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Right, so that's just the overview. Yeah, I've got a little surprise for us. But yeah, we'll get to that later. Anyway, so we've got NFT minting. So yeah, you've gone for a simpler design here with the NFTs. There's not the amped versions.
Mm-hmm.
What was the idea behind that? How come it was more simpler?
We're really just like playing around with different ways to do this to see, and that's why like Stacks has been tweaked the other direction. Like, I'd really like to see how these play out. And I don't think we're done with this style of minting. I think we'll see more NFTs in the future from me. And we'll use all three of these protocols, 280, 369, and Stacks to really gauge like how is the best way to do this, what makes the most sense. That's another thing that's different with 369 is this is an open mint, so you can mint down the road, like the minting opens and closes. So several key tweaks on this that we went into, just seeing how like best to implement these things. So far we're liking what we're seeing here as well. So maybe in the future we do more of a unlimited mint style, like 369 is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think there's a so I think right now it's what 50 something day left of the mint phase.
Yeah, let me tell you. Let's see.
Something like that, right?
51 days.
And there was a reason, right, that it was in the particular time frames. It was to do with the Flux protocol, I think.
Yes, yeah, we're syncing up our mint phase with the 88-day Flux payout, which is actually coming in 7 days. Let me see. I got that pulled up as well. Rewards. Yeah, 7 days. And so yeah, in 7 days we'll be down to 44 days of our mint cycle. I don't know if we're getting ahead of ourselves. I'm sure I don't know what all you have on your diagram here. But it's going to be 44 days on, 44 days off after this first cycle.
Yeah. Yeah, so the first cycle is kind of the most longest one, basically.
Yeah.
Do you see doing it in those time cycles as a way to basically get people to like kind of FOMO mint before the 88-day payout, because they can't mint for a period of time afterwards?
Yeah, I think we'll see that. And that's what we were trying to avoid is we didn't want people minting on day 87 and getting a piece of this 88-day payout and then dumping their NFT right afterwards. So if you want a piece of the larger payouts, you have to mint well in advance. So that's kind of how we were like, well, we can make
Yeah,
this an open mint, but still make requirements to where like you have to mint within a certain time frame to be eligible for those payouts.
yeah. It's very interesting actually, because with this one, obviously, if they burn the NFT, they're getting the backing tokens. So, I mean, if they only minted it for 1 or 2 payouts, their backing actually won't be too big. Um, it's interesting. It's like with these NFTs, there is really the fact of a longer play. A longer play is better. It just builds up more rewards. And I think we'll get to this in a second with selling on OpenSea. I could see these NFTs actually being quite valuable on OpenSea because the backing has a time element to it, right? It's like you had to wait a significant period of time or a longer period of time than other people to get your NFT backing to a certain level. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how these NFTs play out on the OpenSea.
Yeah, and like as we get closer to the 777 reward, um, like I think the value of them would go much higher at that point as well. Because again, same thing. Like you can't mint an NFT and get a piece of that, after
Mm.
350 days or so. So all of those NFTs that were minted before that timeline are going to be more valuable than the ones that are minted afterwards.
Yeah.
Um,
So guys, if you're bullish on the Flux ecosystem, getting in an NFT earlier for a longer time play is could work out really well for you.
mhm.
So yeah. Okay, so yeah, we have three NFTs here. So you got the common type. So it's very similar to before. You get the common, the rare, and the legendary. Common is backed by 100 million Titan X. You get a 1x multiplier in the rewards pool. Rare is backed by a billion Titan X with a 10x multiplier, and the legendary is backed by 10 billion Titan X with a 100x multiplier.
I wouldn't say
Um,
backed. It's just the mint cost.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was right. I was slip up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cost mint cost is 100 billion. As we said before, the backing is something that will build up over time. As the payouts come. By the way, Keto Natural, I took my camera off just because I'll put it back on now, but it was just because my internet was lagging, so I took the advice of Mr. Dude. Cool. Yeah, so that's fairly straightforward. So obviously with this protocol, you kind of have two main elements. Actually, we'll bring in this next bit here. So we've got burning NFTs, right? So there is a tax in this on burning, right? There isn't a token, so there's no token transfer tax or anything. And then the burning gets split like this. So you got the 3% total tax, and it goes 2% to the rewards pool. So literally, if you burn it, you're going to be paying everyone else who holds. And you have the Genesis, which gets 1%, which you can have no expectations of, but fingers crossed, Genesis is seemingly a good person. So
Try,
it's
try to be.
trying to be a good person. Yeah. So yeah, Genesis has been looking good so far in at least E280 and things like that. So yeah, we have good hopes for Genesis. And then rewards pool 2%. So yeah, everyone else gets paid more. And like I said before, you have two ways of selling an NFT. You can just burn it, get your tokens back, the backing tokens, or you can sell it on OpenSea. And like I've said already, there's a time element to this, right? So the longer you hold this NFT, the more backing you're going to get. And I think that time element adds inherently to the scarcity of the NFT. If you minted day one, it's almost like there's a certain level of scarcity to day one minters, or at least people who got in the first payouts, because they're just gonna always have more than everyone else in this in a sense. So these could be very interesting on OpenSea, and I'm gonna have to monitor what goes on there. But you don't want to, you know, burn. You don't want to mint them for one payout and then burn it. Really, that just it doesn't make much sense. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, it does not. I mean, but everybody's situation is different. Maybe they decided they needed those funds for something else, and they're willing to take the loss to move over to something. You never know what people's motives are.
You never know. You're going to be a lot kinder now. I'm going to be in a couple minutes. Right. So yeah, basically, guys, you don't want to be Mr. Shillington. So Mr. Shillington's our special guest. Okay, and Mr. Shillington, he's a shiller. He shills you everything. That's why we call him Shillington. And just to understand this protocol, guys, you don't want to just accidentally burn your your NFT without realizing it, or realizing how the backing works. So a good reason why we do these streams is so you guys understand, so you don't end up being a Mr. Shillington, because he thinks he's gonna get loads of rewards even though he's only had one payout, and he's saying now I could buy a Lambo, vroom vroom, V12, even though I don't even know if a Lambo is a V12 or not. Yeah, he's very happy here. He's got he went into the common and he burns it after one payout. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, we can see even his missus is here right now, and she's not very happy with him. She's saying to him like, she's calling him a brokey. He can't afford her, her nice bag, a Birkin bag. So she's not happy, and then she's on WhatsApp to her girls. I mean, this is getting messy. It's going to affect your personal lives, guys. It's getting seriously messy here. So she's calling him a brokey to all her girls, and he's telling her, "Don't worry, love." He cheers her up, McFlurry, McDonald's, and maybe that will cheer her up. We don't know, but hopefully they. I don't want them to have too many relationship issues here, but just don't accidentally burn your NFT, guys. Otherwise, you may end up in this very situation. So just bear that in mind. You could be like this. This is Jukes the Great. Look at that. Come on. Absolutely jacked. Held the NFT for a good amount of times, got a good backing there. And gonna get an NFT and the Birkin. See, if you hold with a good amount of time, maybe you can get both. Maybe you can get a car and a bag. You sell on OpenSea, you take your legendary, 5x the value on OpenSea. You could have a good day, could be a very nice day for you. So, and your missus is happy. Like, look at this. You want your missus to be happy in life, right? See, look at that. She's saying that man's the best on WhatsApp. Obviously, it's true. What can I say? And this is her. She's very happy right now. So definitely get educated, guys. Spend some time educating yourself. Because you never know, you could end up in this situation driving a Lamborghini. So that's what we have here. I thought I'll throw in a little bit more extra for you guys. I wanted to bring in Shillington. He actually made an appearance before on the Feed Extreme, so we brought him back. But this time I had an appearance here, and Mrs. Woodall as well. She's actually in the stream, but here she is. Cool. Let's get back to. So that was a sidetrack, but we had to give you guys a bit of extra stuff there. Let's get back to it. Right. Yeah. So that was funny. Yeah. So we've got two main aspects of the protocol here. Is obviously the NFT vault, which is going to carry those rewards earned through the protocol, and you're also going to get the Flux flywheel. So the Flux flywheel is basically what feeds the vault, but I've broken them down into two sections because that's how they're done in the white paper, and it also just makes things, for the sake of abstraction, it makes things a bit easier to understand. So should we start with the NFT vault?
Yeah, I don't know. Sure, why not?
Should we start with that? Or should we? Yeah, we can start with that, and then we can go from there.
Either way.
So what I've done in my diagram here is the Flux flywheel is going to feed tokens into the NFT vault, and it's going to feed Element, Flux, and Inferno. Do you want to actually explain this, and I'll go through it and
yeah. So there's also. Do you have like the HLX burning going on there, or the Inferno burning on this chart?
Yeah, that's on the Flux flywheel chart.
Okay.
Should,
Okay.
should I go to it now?
Yeah,
Uh,
let's start over there then.
sure, we'll start there. So the flux flywheel was really the main driving force behind it,
Mhm.
everything. So just so I can quickly explain, just so dude knows my diagram, and then I'll let dude talk. So basically, you send Titan X to mint. So Titan X enters the flux auctions, and it comes from two places. It comes from mints, and then it also comes from the flux payouts. Because there's a 30% auto recompound. So you've got 92% of the Titan X coming in from minting, goes into the auction, and also a 30% of the payouts gets recompounded into the flux auction. And then you get 8% of the Titan X sent to Genesis. That's what we got going on here. Um, and then I'll let you take it away from there. Hopefully, the rest of this should be self-explanatory.
Yeah, yeah. So we've got it set at currently 20 billion Titan X daily. So like just like today, the auction just ended, or the day for Flux just started an hour ago, half an hour ago, hour and a half. There we go. And we entered with 20 billion Titan X through the what we call the Flux Hub on our website. And these are publicly callable functions. So yeah, that 20 billion goes into the auction, and then the next day we are able to claim those tokens from the auction, and 50% of that is automatically staked through the protocol, and then the other 50% we're receiving liquid. And so out of that 50%, we're taking half and manually staking that to be eligible for the Premier 777 payout reward. Yep. And then the other 25%, or the other half of that half, is going to straight to NFT holders for rewards. So this is where all of your Flux payouts are coming from as far as an NFT holder is concerned. They're coming directly from what every time we go into the auction, we're bringing Titan X in, getting Flux out, and paying the NFT holders directly from there. And then the rest of it's getting staked.
Yeah. So if people basically keep entering minting NFTs, that's probably going to be a big driver to, um, you know, pay off to pay into the rewards pool, right? If there's heavy minting going on, those early people who minted are going to get quite crazy flux, because like 25% of what they comes out of the auction goes into it. That's right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you got an NFT holder today and then someone mints tomorrow, their Titan X is going into the auction, and the flux that comes out from that, you're getting a piece of that flux.
And I think that's why if anyone is holding E369 NFTs right now, they may from their first payout they'll realize like the flux amount right now is quite a lot, substantially more than the Element and Inferno. And the reason is the case is because, with all the minting, that's gonna a large portion of that will end up back into the NFT vault. So
yeah, it's directly from the auction to the NFT holders' hands, whereas the Element and the Inferno, those are dependent on the Flux payouts. And we've seen a couple of 8-day payouts, but I think the real fun starts when we got a 28-day payout coming in 3 days, and the 88-day payout coming in 7 days. So that's when the rest of these rewards are going to really start coming in, and then as well our compounding system will start kicking in as well.
Yeah, because it's gonna auto compound back in. I mean, I did this diagram like this. I don't know if this is actually fully accurate, but you have the staked Titan X and then you have the max staked. So I obviously assume the max staked is still going to be in the 8-day payouts, the 28-day payouts. It just the extra thing it gets is the 777.
Exactly.
Payout, right? Okay, cool. If that's the case, how long does the normal stake? How long is that staked for?
Max. It's locked in our contract forever.
Okay.
so they won't be unstaked.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, great. Okay, yeah. So it's just gonna, yeah. It's basically like all the other kind of um protocols that in stake pools, it just remains there locked away,
Yeah,
which it can be
and
very substantial, guys.
yeah, and we made the decision to not unlock those because we were considering having them unlock and pay out, at the end of 10 years of all these auctions, just pay out all these Flux tokens. But we decided to keep them locked because it just that made it more attractive for other protocols to, if somebody wants to burn or lock Flux, they can send it to our contract and know that it's never coming back. And so
Mm.
we're set in a position to where other protocols can send Flux to us, and we've actually already had that with Alien X,
Mhm.
and Godex as well. Will be sending some Flux to this that we will be using max staked. We're locking them up forever. So their job is to take Flux off the market, and the way they're
Mhm.
doing that is by throwing them in our contract so that they know that they will never come back.
Yeah, and I really like this model actually. It's really interesting because obviously it's an auction, so there's only a certain amount of tokens. Is there a certain amount of tokens per day, right?
Yeah,
Auction.
and it's always, going down as well.
Yeah, exactly. So you're getting a slice of basically future supply is going to be safe in these is going to be staked 50% of it at least. Well, actually, no, 75% of it is
Hmm.
going to be locked away. So that's really bullish for Flux. You know that
Hmm.
already. 75% of the E369 that goes in the amount of flux it gets out of these auctions is going to be permanently locked away forever. That's really bullish for Flux.
Yep. And
Yeah.
we've got Phoenix is launching on Saturday. They will be adding a lot of buy pressure to Flux as well. And the price of Flux is what's dependent on the ROI on auctions. So by Phoenix coming in and market buying Flux off the market, like they're pushing the price of the token up, and they're not selling either. They're buying only. So by doing that, you're going to see increased participation in the Flux protocols because there's higher ROI. So there's going to be more Titanx that can go into that to close that ROI gap all the way down to 10% or whatever. It's like right now
Yeah.
it's at 190% ROI. If
Mhm.
nobody else enters the auction today, we will get 190% ROI on our Titanx.
Wow. Wow. There's almost a really cool synergy between Phoenix and E369 in that respect.
Yeah.
Because Phoenix is getting tokens that obviously already on the market.
Mm-hmm.
So they already exist and it's gonna put those into the flux staking as well. So it's a really cool kind of synergy. And that obviously, like you said, pushes up the price of flux, which means that the amount of Titanex that can enter the auction should theoretically be higher.
Mm-hmm.
Would if that was the case, would you guys adjust the amount of Titanex going into the auctions per day?
Yeah, we have that ability. We haven't. We're happy with the 20 billion per day amount as it is right now. Um, we certainly won't lower it. I'll say that because it costs gas to claim every one of these stakes. So we don't want to go into an auction with $100 because then now we have to spend gas to claim that over and over and over again. So we'll definitely look into increasing it if that makes sense. But as of right now, 20 billion is pretty solid. Because like we don't have anything in place to prevent the ROI from going negative. So like there's a possibility that say we throw 100 billion in there and now all of a sudden the ROI is negative 20. Like we don't want that situation. So it's kind of delicate. Like we want to make sure there's high enough ROI for other users to decide to come in last minute and try to make their short-term plays
Mhm.
without like messing with our ROI as well.
Yeah. So for anyone who wants to understand how to play auction systems here, take a note out of the E369 book. I've seen a lot of people complaining about Shogun auction and stuff because they got like all in day one or something, and they got a low
Mhm.
ROI. You have to, with these auctions, you have to DCA the auction, right? So
Yep.
take a note out of this if anyone's watching, if they don't know the best way to play the auction game. Just split it up, DCA in, you'll get a good average.
And that's what we're trying to market this as, is the Flux easy button. Like, me personally, I hate going into auctions every day, and I have to be available at that end time to make sure the ROI is what I want it to be, and all of these things. This automates it for you. You're just holding the NFT. Somebody else is clicking that button, entering the auction for you. The compounding is happening for you. Like, you're building your position without having to do anything but just hold the NFT, which is really what the vision of this is.
Yeah, that's amazing. So yeah, Flux guys, if you're bullish on Flux, then this is the easy button. The element ecosystem really is the easy button ecosystem.
Yes.
It stays in it's and that's why I like it. It's like it's in brand with element 280 is the easy button on the whole ecosystem, but this is the easy button on Flux. And then we got stacks coming. So I'm
Yep.
so excited. I'm so excited about stacks, man. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Stacks,
The staking easy button. Yeah.
yeah, staking. How do you see stacks? Is stacks gonna have a stake in the Flux pool as well?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that'll be bought like Phoenix, right? Bought off market.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So we're not going to compete in the auctions. So 369 is still going to have that market as far as going into the auctions every day. So um, yeah, and again, we think that with stacks coming in and buying off the market, that's supporting 369. So
Yeah. So there you go, guys. You've got basically two protocols supporting E369 here. You got Phoenix launching very soon. Shout out to Callum. And we also have Stacks coming, which will just add more support. Should hopefully, if price goes up off Flux, then more Titanex can go in. It feeds the whole ecosystem, which is really cool. So let's go down to the payout. Let's see how the payout gets split. So kind of written it here. If you want to carry on going on the explanation, this 30% goes back to the start. So that was the 30% auto compound. Basically, the Titanex payout 30% gets auto compounded. That goes back to the start here, and it goes back into the system. So yeah, we'll take it away.
yeah, let me see. Make sure. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, we got the 30% auto compounding. And then you've got next, there's 20.6% burning going on. This is what's supporting Element 280, Inferno, and HLX. Like, why are we doing these things? Like, E280 is pretty self-explanatory. This is an E280 protocol. So we wanted to make sure to contribute towards burning those tokens and helping, increase the rate of deflation on that. And then in the Inferno buy and burn, that's supporting Flux itself as well. And as a user, you're earning Inferno tokens. So we wanted to pay out users in Inferno tokens and contribute to burning them. So you're getting an increased deflationary token. So same with Element. You're earning Element tokens, and those are being deflated. And then obviously I'm involved, so I've got to support my baby.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's where Helios comes into the play.
Helios, guys, is a sleeper right now. There's so much getting added to it.
And I also want to point out that Flux send 2% of all of the Titan-X that goes through the Flux system gets sent to the Helios treasury. So the Helios treasury is getting kickbacks from 369 participating in Flux through that. So with Phoenix coming out and Stacks coming out, and theoretically increasing the price, increasing the participation, more Titan-X gets flowing through Flux, Helios is going to benefit from that because we're getting some of that Titan-X. And all of that is just getting max staked and added to our Titan-X treasury.
Awesome. Yeah, amazing. So it's like protocol that supports Helios we're also supporting. That's so cool to see, like
Mhm.
founders all kind of helping each other. Like you're helping me, so we're gonna help you. You know, that's what I like to see. That's really cool.
Yep.
Um, yeah. So yeah, that's the burn bit, and
Mhm.
then we got the NFT vault. So yeah,
Yep.
49.4%. So yeah, so the Titan X payout, 49.4% of the Titan X will go into the NFT vault. This is similar to the NFT vault we have on E280. So that's basically where people get their rewards from.
Mhm.
And something happens at Titan X though, because people don't get Titan X, right? So I've kind of done it like this on the diagram. Um, yeah, essentially, the Titan X that comes into the vault will get split between buying Inferno off market and buying Element 280 off market, and then feeding those back into the vault.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's yeah, holding this NFT. So you started earning flux from the auctions directly, and then here is where you're getting the Inferno and Element 280. So this is where your 3 tokens, how they come into existence into the vault. And then yeah, we're splitting that, like you're saying, 50-50 between the backing and the rewards. So half of this is immediately claimable, and the other half is claimable once you decide you've made enough and you're ready to exit the system.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, I think I might have forgot to add that in this, but yeah, exactly. Half of
Yeah.
that is going to go into backing, half of that goes into rewards. Um, yeah, I've just put it here that it goes back into the NFT vault, so I think we'll get onto on the NFT vault side of things. But
Yeah.
yeah, super cool here. So Element 280, guys, this is, it doesn't always have to be a buy and a burn. At the end of the day, buy pressure is buy pressure, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for all the guys in the Element side of things, this is adding additional. Everyone's looking at the buy and burn V2, but there's also this happening in the background. This is buying Element on the background, um, and it's going to be adding it to the vault. So Element has more than just the buy and burn V2 as buy pressure. Yes, that's buy and burn pressure, but there's also additional buy pressure through the payouts themselves that go
Yeah.
into the user reward. So
And if a user wants to like collect those and sell them down, that's just still additional volume running through E280. And then
exactly, yeah,
also, like the other half of that, you have to exit the system completely and burn your NFT to get those others. So we're envisioning lots of Element 280 getting locked up into these NFTs for these diamond hand holders. Like you want to get that big 777 payout. Well, you're holding your NFT through that whole time, and that means
exactly.
that's all this buy pressure and at the very least delayed sell pressure, but
Yeah.
no doubt increased volume across the board.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And if people diamond hand NFTs, then at least 50% of all the element bought here is going to be locked away in those NFTs, and there will be people who diamond hand them.
Mhm.
So that's awesome. I like to see more tokens, more element tokens locked, more Inferno tokens locked. Inferno is another protocol, guys, that's got it's burnt an insane amount of supply, and there's more stuff launching on top of it.
Yeah.
And that's so bullish for anyone who is participating on Inferno or tokens built or bonded to Inferno, because there's going to be a significant, hopefully a significant portion of tokens locked away,
Yeah.
just locked away as a backing, and people diamond hand it, like you said, for the 7-7 payout. That's coming out in 2026, guys. So people are going to diamond hand some of these NFTs literally in two years. How much tokens are going to be locked away by then? You know,
Yeah.
think future,
Right.
guys.
And
Yeah.
just a quick shout out, we're doing a stream specifically about Inferno and showcasing what all is being built on Inferno, and Flux is a big one of those things. In addition to Alien X and Godex, Flare is involved. There's
Yeah,
tons of projects, and I'll be there representing Element 369 as well.
that's amazing. Yeah, I'm actually
Yeah.
streaming with Flair tomorrow, guys. So if you want to see how Flair supports Inferno, I will be doing a stream on that with Smooth and Crypto. So that's super cool.
Awesome.
And yeah, I mean, it's so cool because right now the Titan X ecosystem is in somewhat of a correction, sideways. cut out. Am I back?
You're
Am I
back.
still here?
Yeah.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So as I was saying, it's so cool with this ecosystem because even though we're going sideways, there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. Jake is going on about how much Titan X is being burnt, which supports literally every single thing in the ecosystem. But then there's also these sub ecosystems with protocols coming out which are supporting them. So I kind of make this analogy to like a somewhat of a pressure cooker. It's like we're adding more and more pressure on top of all these protocols. And then when Titan X starts to move, that's really when you're going to see these protocols, performing, not financial advice, but could perform very well. And we're adding more and more pressure to all of these, like Inferno here, an element. We're locking away more tokens, we're buying more tokens. This is that kind of, this is that part of the, the meal where you put that on low heat and you let the pressure build up. And then all of a sudden it was on low heat, but you got a pressure cooker that's going to blow up on you. So be very careful with pressure cookers, guys.
Yeah, Jake likes the analogy of a slingshot. The further back you pull that slingshot, the further the stone's going to go, and that's kind of what we're doing right now. Is while we're going sideways, the slingshot is getting pulled further and further back. So like the upside potential is just growing and growing as we speak. So
exactly, yeah. And I've seen another person do an analogy of like pushing I don't know who it was, it might have been Crypto Connoisseur, but it's like pushing a ball underwater. Like you can push a ball underwater for so long, but eventually the further you push it down, then the more kind of energy it has to come back up.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot going on, guys, behind the scenes. Leading indicators. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. So I think that wraps up the Flux Hub section. I'll do a little quick because we've gone through quite a bit there. I'm going to do a very quick summary for everyone who may have just joined. So, quick summary, guys. The Flux Hub is kind of like the big flywheel behind the whole E369 system. Essentially, Titan X goes into Flux auctions from two places minting. So, people who come in and mint are going to add to the Flux auction, minting NFTs, that is. And then Flux payouts get auto compounded back into the auction. So you're going to get 30% of that, 92% of Titan X for mints goes into the auction, and that pays Flux. 75% of that Flux gets auto staked, locked away forever. 25% goes to the NFT vault to pay all of the loyal kind of minters. And then the payouts from the stakes gets divided into three main sections. 30% of it gets auto compounded, and you get practically 50%, 49.4% goes to the NFT vault, 20.6% goes to the burn, and that feeds three different burns. So that feeds the Element V2 buy and burn, it feeds the Inferno buy and burn, and it feeds the Helios buy and burn as well. And then the NFT vault, the Titan X that comes into it, you're going to get basically a 50-50 split of the Titan X going to buy Inferno off market, buy Element 280 off market, and feed it back into the vault. So that's my very quick summary for those who have just joined. That is what the Flux Hub is. By the way, guys, I'm very grateful we're on 66 views right now because I realized last minute we're clashing with a big stream. So Eric is streaming with Mike Dean. So you can't always, plan things perfectly. Things are going to happen. There's going to be clashes. So I'm grateful for everyone who is here today. And thank you to Mr. Trust Titan X Plan for the nice comment there. I appreciate it. Cool. That's that section. Now we've got the NFT. So this is basically abstraction here. What I've done is I've just taken all of that Flux flywheel logic and just put one bubble. And then basically all you need to know for the NFT vault is it feeds 3 tokens into the vault, which would be Element, Flux, and Inferno. So you should understand how that works by now. We've just been through that section. And that goes into the NFT vault and it gets split accordingly. So if you want to take away from here, dude.
Yeah, and we're doing straight 50-50 towards NFT backing and the NFT rewards. So the rewards are claimable every 11 days. We have a distribution cycle. If you go onto our website and you're on the user vault page, you'll see the countdown timer on that. So um, you know exactly what that timing is. The other 50%, that is claimable anytime you want to burn your NFT. Obviously, when you burn your NFT, you're no longer available for any future rewards, and you're essentially exiting the system. So, yeah, 50% immediately claimable, 50% a one-time claim as you're on your way out the door.
Yeah, and you're paying the extra tax as well, so the extra
Oh
tax
yeah,
will go back into the rewards as well.
yeah,
Yeah, and then yeah, we got the rewards here. It's every 11 days to pay out.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And we did that to kind of still stay in sync with, like we were saying, with Flux 88-day payout. We've got 44-day mint cycles, so it made sense to do 11-day distribution cycles. So you're getting 4 or 8 payouts through a full 88-day cycle.
Mhm. And they got that master number, guys. There's
Yeah.
numerology guys out there. Got that 1-1 master number there. But there is an extra element to this, right? There's the 777 payout. So I've kind of put that down here because I believe it works a little bit differently. So
Mhm.
yeah, how does that 777 payout work?
So as far as Flux goes, you can't distinguish between a 777 payout and an 8-day payout. So what we decided to do is just calculate, okay, this payout's going to be on this date. And during that time, when any rewards are claimed, we're just going to funnel all of that to a separate pool. So we might catch an 8-day payout in there or something, and that'll just get funneled along with it. But 99% of what's going to be during those 3 days is the 777 payout. And so
Mhm.
we'll take that payout and funnel it off to the side. And those rewards are not for everybody. You have to have an NFT minted prior to a certain cycle.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you've got the first one there. Yeah. So as long as
Yeah.
you mint your NFT before the 34th cycle, then you're eligible for this 777 payout. And again, this is designed so that you don't show up on day 776 and mint an NFT and then get a fat payout, and then you just burn your NFT and exit. This is something for people that have been in the system and they are patiently waiting for these payouts.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And that's it's a way to basically, you know, reduce the amount of people who can just kind of be bad actors in the system and mint,
mhm.
kind of like a day before, get a payout and then burn and leave. And it kind of it forces people into a longer term mindset here.
Yeah.
They have to get in before this 34th cycle, at least for the first one.
Mhm.
By the way, the white paper I believe has the other cycles down there. So if anyone wants to see the other cycles, what period you need to get in to get the payout, then check out the white paper. I put the first one in here. So yeah, you need you need to get in before the 34th cycle, which is approximately I think 385 days from at least when it was launched, to get into this 777 payout here. And there is something with the 7-7 payout about it not being claimed in 3 days. Is that right?
Um, if it's not claimed, the rewards will go to regular rewards pool. Okay, I see what you're saying. We
Yeah.
have a fallback. Like if it's not claimed within 3 days, then it just so we basically have a 3-day window. So anything that's claimed in staking rewards will go to this 777 pool. And then after that 3-day window, it's business as usual, and it's going. Any payouts are going back to the regular pools.
This pool. Yeah.
So we really don't see this happening, but we just wanted a what if option. So like, I seriously doubt for 3 days nobody clicks the claim button. Like this is going to be our largest payout that we get to date. I anticipate users are there to click that button immediately within the first hour. But
Mhm.
say everybody's asleep and we all forget to click the claim button after 3 days, those funds aren't lost. It just goes back into the regular payouts.
Yeah, I
So
can't see people missing it. I mean, I
yeah,
don't know what's going to happen by then. Who knows? World War III or something. But even if I'm in the middle of the trenches, man, I'm logging onto my I'm not logging onto my app right there, and I'm going to claim that reward.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
I might be in the middle of no man's land, and I might hear some drones
Yeah.
above my head about to take me out. But I'll take one for the team, and I'll make
Yeah.
sure we get those 7-7
Th-
payout, guys.
there was a way to do it to where it wasn't this way, but it vastly complicated the smart contracts and all of the logic, increases gas costs, like so many things. And we just made the decision, you know what, like, what are the odds that nobody claimed it just takes a single person. It's not like every NFT holder needs to claim within 3 days to get their payout. It's literally one person out of the entire protocol that clicks the button and claims for everybody. And so we decided, you know what, like, the odds of that not happening are so low, it's not worth overcomplicating the code. And we just decided to go with this method. And yeah, I'll definitely be there. I'll be around in 770 days, you know.
There you go. Yeah. If
Yeah.
me and dude are in a trench somewhere, World War III
Yeah.
is happening, we're still clicking that button, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'll cover your back while you're down there on your tablet.
Yeah. That'll be funny.
Uh,
Yeah, and I did take a screenshot of the at the time the 777 payout. Obviously, this will increase with more people entering the auction. Um, but
it's
yeah, man,
at
this at the time it was 71 grand. I don't know what it's at now.
79,000.
Wow, do you see how quickly that's grown? I took this like a few days ago. It was 71 grand. Now it's at nearly 80.
Yeah.
And guys, this is in Titan X. Look at this.
Mhm.
It's in Titan X. So this is going to pay out on the 7th of November 2026.
Mhm.
And who knows? Who knows what the price of Titan will be? You know,
Mhm.
yes, people might say it may be a bear market if things follow four yearly cycles, but it could still be a significant payout. You know, I mean, I did put a little calculation here. You know, if the value at this value, if Titan was a 5x, that's 355 grand.
Mhm.
10x, you can see here 710 grand. 20x, 1.4 mil. 50x, 3.5 mil. 75x, 5.3 million. 100x, 7.1 million. That'll be nice. And then Moon Math Boys, you know me, got to include it. 1000x, 71 mil. You know, who knows? You don't know. Trump might decide he likes Titan X.
Yeah.
So yeah, this could be
Yeah.
pretty insane. And this is gonna continue to grow. It's at
Mhm.
79 mil, and it's only gonna continue to grow. So very bullish, guys. And
It,
that goes for all of the payouts.
yeah, we're 10% of the way in, or like your screenshots, not even 10% of the way through. So at the current rate and the current price, you're looking at 700,000 USD. If nothing changes between the price of the token and the amount of participation that's going in, which we
Guys,
do know that clearly the price does change and participation will change. So no expectations there, but we're seeing multiple protocols coming in to add more support for Flux. So not financial advice. I do think Flux is going to do well, and the amount of participation is going to go up.
yeah.
So
And especially as Titan enters another kind of frenzy price discovery, you
mhm.
know, all of these protocols built on top will go into a similar price discovery. So Flux will do well, and the participation, therefore, because it's an auction system, the participation in the auctions will also go up. So yeah, that is crazy. And look, guys, this is what one thing I love about this ecosystem is we have future proof built in. You know, even in a bear market, even if this just Titan price stays the same, and let's say participation continues, let's say there's 500 grand. Let's just say there's 500 grand in this. That's still like money, and if that's during a bear market, it kind of forces people to participate in these protocols. And I believe Flux not the only one that has these long term pools. A bunch of
Mhm.
ecosystems have these long-term pools, and all these long-term pools will force participation even in a bear market, guys. We have that level of future proof. The system won't just die during a bear market completely, because there is these future proof things built in to these protocols, and that's something I'm really bullish about. For our sake, our community, we think long term. A lot of people in our community have been in crypto for long enough to know how the cycles work. So yeah, I love this. I love that it's like that.
Yeah.
And I think that is actually the entire thing.
Nice. I also want to point out the 88-day payout is currently at 175,000. So
Oh, and that's really soon, isn't it?
yeah, 7 days, less than a week. So
Let me bring that up. Let me actually bring it up so everyone can see. Give me a second, guys. Open up Flux rewards. Yeah. Okay. So let me just share my screen for that, just so people can see what's going on.
trying to see, did I miss anything?
Sure. How can I get this to be bigger?
Control plus.
Control. Oh yeah, obviously. Oh, that's. So you can kind of see, guys, the payouts here. So the 8-day payout is it's still got 6 days, and it's got 2.5 grand in there. And then you got the 28-day, 36 grand. People, they're not seeing these things, but like, this is crazy. 26 grand. And this is paying out in 2 days. And it's going to continue to grow until then. And E369 is getting a slice of that. And then you got the 888. This is what we're saying here, the 888. The 88-day has 174 grand. Look at that. That's paying out in 6 days. So everyone who holds NFTs right now, they'll see a little jump in their backing, their rewards. And, there's been a bit of discussion on the V2 buy and burn. It looks like there's not much in there. That will get a slice of this as well. All these payouts, it's going to get a slice of. Like I said, guys, it's a pressure cooker. It might be on low heat, but then all of a sudden you leave it for 5 minutes, you realize that it's making a whistling sound, and you start getting scared, and you go over to the pressure cooker, you accidentally open it, and it blows up. So, that's this ecosystem, man.
Yeah, and think about how many 88-day payouts are going to hit before that 777 even rolls around once. So we're looking at several of these 88-day payouts along the way while we're waiting on that. Like, it's not like you really have to buy and hold for 2 years with nothing to show for it. Like, we're getting rewards all along the way.
Yeah, and then that's that 777, guys. So yeah, 79 grand. We're 10% in. Yeah. I mean, if things go on like that, we're only 10% in. We nearly hit 80 grand. This could be at 800 grand. If Titan X just remains the same price, and if people mint NFTs and diamond hold them until the end, wow, the payout would be ridiculous. And it's just gonna build up. It's just all gonna build up. It's a pressure cooker, guys. What's gonna happen on OpenSea after this payout and before this payout? I'm gonna be very interested to see if people, what the price people who've minted, because imagine you minted before the 34th cycle, you get in on this 777 and you put it on OpenSea. Surely those NFTs will have a higher value than ones minted after.
No doubt.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's a time element, guys. These NFTs are unique. They're different to E280. E280 is backed by the element tokens, and subsequently the value of those plus the value of the rewards. But this is one that it's a time. It's a time. There's a lot of time to this. Let your NFT grow. It's like planting a seed, and you let the rewards over time flow in. And now one day that could be worth, not financial advice, it could be worth a decent amount. You put it on OpenSea, you can make a good profit. You can buy your girl a Birkin. You can buy your Lambo. It's the it could be the Lambo button. We're still waiting on the launch of the Lambo token, but
Yeah.
Maybe it'll come soon.
Yeah.
So there's that. I did do actually a quick calculation. This was the other day, so this is going to change. I'm going to share it again. I did a little calculation on the shares. This might be completely wrong, so bear with me. Go back to this one. Yeah, I did do a calculation on the shares that we have in the system. So this was a few days ago, and this is going to continue to grow. Basically, guys, with Flux, it's a nuanced staking. It has a nuance to the staking in the sense that there's the amount of shares a Flux get will increase per Flux over time. So I believe that's right. So the more in the future, Flux will get more shares. One Flux gets more shares. But then the Flux in the auctions is decreasing. So there's kind of this interesting thing there. And I had to do some maths on this here. So you can see the stake IDs these are visible on the website, the Element website. And then I just tried to go through and figure out what period they were in, what amount of shares they would have. And I went through kind of a bunch of them here. I got to the conclusion we have around that many shares. It might be off. My maths might be wrong, but it may be roughly this. So 471 billion shares at the current time. And then, that probably gives us roughly 7% of the pool right now.
Yeah, I looked it up the other day and we were just over that. What I do to do my math is I have the Flux Hub contract address. I add it to Rabby Wallet as like a contact list or a watch the wallet address. And then when you go to the Flux website, you can log in with Rabby and it acts like you are the owner of that address, and then it shows you. Yeah, we're at 7.1% of the global stakes currently.
There you go, guys. Yeah, I did this maths all myself, so I wasn't too far off.
Yeah, nice job.
I was kind of up at like 3 in the morning, like, hold on a second. The Flux staking is the amount you get and the share rate is all different. I plugged into ChatGPT, it gave me these figures, so I was able to go from there.
Nice.
Yeah,
I love the that option to just like you can load any wallet you want in there and then log into any website as if you're the owner of the wallet. Now, obviously, I can't sign transactions or claim anything because I don't have the private key, but just with the public key, I can log into the website as if I, were that owner. And so that makes things a ton easier. Like I've done that with like the HLX treasury, so I can go to the Titanx website and it'll show me as if I was the treasury. So little
look at that, guys. You got some Rabbi Wallet pro tip.
Yeah.
I need to start expanding my I've just been a MetaMask person, but I need to start using, because Rabbi Wallet seems to be better, like pretty much across the board.
I was instantly converted when someone showed me Rabby. I was like, "Yep, I will never touch MetaMask again."
There you go.
So, what somebody, it was James. It was saying it's like going from the 80s to today. Like it's just MetaMask is in the 80s, Rabby is in the 2020s. Like the advancement is just insane.
That's it, man. And I wonder if I don't know if you're aware of this, but Richard Hart, when he was doing his Pulse X kind of sacrifice, was talking about making a wallet as well. I wonder if he's still working on it. I haven't heard anything about it for a very long time. So that would be interesting to see if there's another wallet on the market that's up there, because MetaMask is just a lot of people, when they get into crypto, they learn about MetaMask, but there's a lot of better options. Even for the Pulse Chain guys, you've got like Internet Money wallet and stuff. So there's a lot of better options. One last thing I would like to do is, just so people can see as well, I want to show the Element actual website, and so people can see where this stuff is on the Element website. So we'll do that, and then I'll finish with some questions if anyone has any. I did see one question, so we'll drop that in, and then we should be good. Let's just pull up the Element website there. Cool. So yeah, this is the Element website, guys. Oh yeah, we didn't speak about this. I noticed a nice increase of Titan X in the 369 mids. What do you know anything about that?
I might have some knowledge of that. Yeah. So the HLX DAO decided that we want
Oh, I've
to.
lost my.
There you go. We want to add another treasury to the HLX DAO, and the whole vision for what Helios is to like have treasuries that have sustainable rewards, and those rewards will go to support HLX stakers, the HLX buy and burn, and adding to the HLX LPs. So we just put a vote in, and the the results are yes. We weren't to mint 15 Element 369 NFTs. So we went ahead and did that just in time to catch a piece of that 88-day payout. So we're going to have a full week of the increase, because if you go to the Flux Hub, you'll see we have quite a bit of funds now to go into auctions. So we're doing 20 billion at a time. We've got 127 allocated to it. So we've got 6 more days of auctions that we'll go into. So that'll be perfect timing where we run through 127 billion or 120, and through these auctions increase our stake percentage, and get a big piece of that payout to then compound and do all the things we discussed. Yeah, as far as the HLX treasury goes, we haven't decided exactly how we want to utilize these rewards, but we do know we like these rewards. And the ROI that we're getting right now makes so much sense to get into this. I mean, this supports HLX directly because Flux is burning. Flux is sending Titan X to our treasury. Element 369 is burning HLX. So those 2 ways that it's directly supporting HLX. And yeah, again, this is something that I believe is sustainable. This is going to run for a long time. So now we've got an additional stream of income in the form of Inferno Flux Element 280.
Wow. So, and if I'm correct, those NFTs will be diamond held?
So I'm not going to say yes to that. That's up to the DAO to decide. Because the thing is there is a backing there. At some point, we probably do want to collect in on that backing. Maybe we don't. That's something that we can go to vote down the road. But generally speaking, all of our treasuries, the Titan X, our Wonderland, those are diamond hands. Those we can. It's not even in the smart contract to pull those out. So those are permanently staked.
I think the audio's gone a bit. Is that my side?
I think we're good.
Sorry, I missed a bit there. I don't know if I think it might have been my internet, but hopefully the audience caught that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. We generally try
if you guys,
to. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I think my audio has gone a bit, so I'll just put my camera off there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, the main thing is the audience. As long as they hear, that's a good thing there. So yeah, if you guys want to come in and have a little look with E369 here, this is the Flux Hub. So this is what we're all looking at. A bit on the diagram there. You got the auctions. You can see what's going into the next auction, and also the treasury, which is basically how much Titan X we have for the future auctions. And then we got the treasury balance. I believe is that what's going to be paid out to the NFT rewards and the burning and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you guys want to see here all of the Flux stakes that are made, you can see them very clearly on the website, which is nice to see. So, and you can see also the rewards, and I believe there's a nice green button somewhere to claim the rewards, possibly once you connect the bot wallet. Cool. There's that, and then you have the user vault. So look at that user vault. You know, as you can see, as I was saying, the flux is the main. It's going to be the main big thing during minting, at least during these big mint cycles, in terms of payouts. And then right now, Inferno and Element isn't showing anything, but this is just determined by when the payout comes out, and those that time X gets distributed into both Inferno and Element. And then you would be able to see here your rewards, and the backing would be over here. Maybe that person who accidentally burned Mr. Shriddington, maybe he accidentally clicked this. He didn't know what he was doing. Possibly.
We've revamped the website since then to try to make it even more clear
if you guys want to mint
what you're doing, so that hopefully nobody in the future does that.
Molder's bugging up, so yeah, Molder's bugging up. Are you can you hear me?
Yeah, there's just a delay on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my camera off for a bit until that fixes. Was there anything you wanted to say on this? Sorry, did I miss it?
No, I think we're good. I think I got it.
Yeah, we're good. Cool. And yeah, guys, if you want to go ahead and mint, there's 3 NFTs: the common, rare, and legendary. We looked at those already. And yeah, you just go in here. It's super easy. You decide how much you want to get, and the DApp will automatically kind of tell you the cost. So if I put in four rares, 2 commons, and a legendary, then you can see it adds up the cost, and you do have the cost in ETH. So I presume that's going to buy up Titan to auto mint these.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, we saw that with Element 280, and that's a good way of just simplifying it for people. If they just have ETH in their wallet and they want to automate the process, then they can just automate the process straight through the DApp, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, we really strive to be the easy button across the board. Like that's the main goal. Yeah.
And then you can see here, guys, the mint cycle, 51 more days for this one. And then after that, it's going to be 44 days to wait. And then there's 44 days the next cycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. And yeah, that pretty much wraps most of this up. Let's see the buy and burn V2. So the buy and burn V2, you will find it under Element 280 because it goes into Element 280. And the buy and burn V2 here is going to be filled up over time. So like I said before, guys, it might not be a lot now, but it's a pressure cooker. You leave it for a minute, you go back to look at it, and it grows quite a lot. So yeah, that's going to grow with all those payouts. And you got the V1 stuff there as well. Still got V1.
Yeah. Did you say there was a question in the chat?
There was one. Yeah, we'll get to that now. I did save it, so let's just see what they're saying. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. See if my camera's good. So Mr. Weaponhead, he's a supporter, so he's always about. Shout out to Weaponhead. He gave us this question. This is
10
maybe
billion
more
a day
general.
from you know, I'm open to any of these strategies. Yeah, Shogun, there's no yield on Shogun, right? Like this is just, it's more of like a Dragon X where you're holding liquid tokens in hopes for price appreciation. I personally like going into protocols that specifically generate yield so that you can just have a position in there, and it just sits there and you get reoccurring payouts. Like if we were to hold Shogun, there would have to be some kind of strategy of like, okay, after it hits this price mark, we're going to sell X amount, or, you know, that starts getting into like more management than I think we're interested in. I really like these automated treasuries where we can just build a smart contract where it holds these, you know, this position, and then every payout, you just a publicly callable function to claim it. And then it sends those funds over to the buy and burn or the HLX stakers. And yeah, and then it supports them that way.
Yeah. Yeah. So with the Helios Treasury, it's nice to have things that
Mhm.
add to it over time, just keep on giving it more yield. And for those who haven't seen it, this is the Helios Treasury right now.
And I'm excited to announce that we are designing a V2 staking contract where we can send any ERC20 token into it, and existing or new HLX stakers can just come in and claim those tokens. So if you're an HLX staker, we'll add an additional claim button that says, hey, there's like maybe Inferno tokens or Element 280, and stakers can go in and claim those. So
Whoa. There you go, guys. There's the alpha. That's the alpha for the people who made it to the end.
yeah.
Wow. So where's Helios getting a V2 staking?
Yes.
Wow. And that's going to collect any ERC20.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
hope everyone's hearing this.
yeah, so the idea is now we can have any treasury we want and not worry about what token is paid out in. We can easily just ship that straight over to stakers, and we can become the staking, the mega staking pool, where like you come in, you stake your HLX, and you can earn a dozen different tokens if that's what we wanted to do. So not just Titan and ETH. We'd like to introduce X28, possibly Elements, like, or any of them. Like I said, we, if the DAO voted we want Dragon X, we can devise a way to start earning yield on Dragon X and then pay our stakers in Dragon X.
Wow, guys, look at that. And Stacks is going to be getting those tokens as well. Like in terms of if it had a... Oh, wait, would Stacks be in V2 or would Stacks be in V1?
So V2 is not like there. If you're staking in V1, you're automatically included in V2. So
Okay.
like that was the key element that we wanted to be sure, is that there's no additional work to be done for anybody. Like nothing changes. You still go to our V1 staking contract, you stake your tokens just like they are now. We're just adding an additional claim button on the back end. So if you're already a staker, you literally do nothing. There's just going to be an additional claim button for new tokens.
Yeah, shout out to the modular designer of all of your protocols. Yeah. That's why if you design things modularly, you can always add new elements. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I think we have a question here from Peter, actually, regarding this.
More beneficial to mint Stacks or stake in Helios? That's a good question. And this is something that we are going to schedule a discussion over very soon. There's several votes that we want to push through the DAO to see after we have a discussion with the community, obviously. But there's, Helios has to approve Stacks to even stake in the Helios protocol. We have that our staking pool is protected. So not any smart contract can just come in and stake. We have to literally whitelist them to come in. So that's vote number one that we need to have a discussion on. Does Stacks even participate in Helios? I think it's a great idea. I think Helios needs this additional buy pressure because Stacks is coming in with liquid Titan X that's buying off market. I think that's going to really help with the price of the token. And if the price of the token is going up, then mining could come back. It could really stimulate the Helios ecosystem on its own. So, but the vision that I'm seeing that I really want to discuss further is so let's say we do agree to let Stacks come in. And now Stacks is getting our Titan X and our ETH out of our stake pools and paying out to Stacks users. Now, what if HLX DAO mints a bunch of Stacks NFTs as well, just like we're minting Element 369 NFTs. Say we mint a bunch of Stacks NFTs. Now the HLX DAO is earning staking payouts from everybody's staking pools across the ecosystem. So as Blaze pays out Flux, Eden, all these other staking pools, as they're paying out, the HLX treasury is earning those tokens in the form of X28. And then we can send that X28 into our own staking pool. And now our staking pool is being fed X28 tokens essentially from all of the staking pools across the ecosystem. Did that make sense to you?
Yeah, there's a bit to unpack there, but
Yeah.
that is super bullish, I think, for the Helios guys, and also with the incorporation of Stacks in there. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, so the way I see it is we're stimulating the token with lots of volume coming in from Stacks, and then people worried about dilution of their staking payouts, we're now adding an additional payout of X28. So maybe your payouts do get diluted some, but on the other side of things, we're going to see possible price appreciation of the token itself, and then in addition to that, staking rewards in X28. So to me, it's like a win-win for the Helios ecosystem. And then we become more of the staking hub because we are a Stacks whale in our own protocol.
Yeah.
Feeding value back to HLX.
Wow. So it's like you got Stacks as the easy button of staking, but then also Helios is almost the central hub of just getting insane amount of tokens.
Right. And this is not a handout. Like I'm proposing that, you see we've got 321 billion Titan X sitting there. That's a lot of NFTs we could mint. And then now we've got sustainable rewards. Because say we take that Titan X and just dump it into our buy and burn or dump it into the stake pool. Okay, that's great. Everybody's got rewards. The buy and burn runs for a month and then that runs out. And then now we're left with nothing. Whereas this is, we mint NFTs and now we're getting X28 drips forever through these staking payouts. And then we take that X28 and we put that in our buy and burn. So now we have another sustainable form of income to go into our buy and burn, and X28 going into our V2 staking contract. So now, instead of just having a one-time event, now we're getting a forever event that's sustainable because we never have to sell our position. We can diamond hand these Stacks NFTs and just forever get X28 out of them.
Look at that, guys. That is why, and I've said this before in our last stream, this investment pool is so underrated. The amount of things that can be done with this. So yeah, so just so I understand it correctly, basically, if you allow Stacks into the Helios pool, then you can basically use this investment pool here, use the Titan X to mint Stacks NFTs, which will we'll go into Stacks in our next stream, but that will get a bunch of X28, and then that X28 is gonna basically, you can just use that down the line how you want. So I believe that will come into the investment pool or the treasury, and that will feed into stakers, that can feed into buy and burn, that can feed into a bunch of things.
Yeah, the three main points that I want to start attacking equally is HLX stakers, HLX buy and burn, and HLX liquidity. Those three things are, in my opinion, what's going to accelerate the Helios ecosystem. All three of those, I think, are very important. So, and this is, like I said, sustainable. Like we can do this, and now we have a sustainable drip of X28 that we can very easily use to buy and burn HLX. That's a simple move. And then, like I said, with the V2 contract, we can now pay out existing stakers with X28 which is essentially Titan X. So that's what people are here for. Like they're wanting the Titan X and ETH payouts. Well, it's not Titan X, it's X28, but those are exchangeable in my eyes. So
Wow. Well, listen, guys. I hope you I hope everyone watching the stream right now has enough tea and nicotine. Look, I'm gonna pour myself another glass because I need that my mental cognition to be on the highest of performance right now.
yeah.
Wow.
So
So
I
much
guess yeah. So let me try to answer this question. Do you think it's more beneficial to mint stacks or stake in Helios? That is tough. That is tough to answer because the way I envision it, it might make sense to be a Helios staker if these things that I'm just talking about go through. Being a Helios staker now means you are inherently a stacks whale, and you're getting that
Whoa.
X28.
Did you hear that,
So
guys?
yeah.
I'm gonna put another nicotine pouch in a second, man. Wow. So the way I look at these kind of things, guys, like if you're in between these two choices and they're both really good options, just go into both and split your funds up between both. Um, I guess the one advantage you would have in stacks is I believe you can obviously burn the NFT.
Mhm.
So if you want to get back funds liquid again, then at least stacks allows you to buy the NFT. But if you want a diamond hand, if you want to create like a diamond hand position in and this is now the whole ecosystem, or you want to have all that stacks payouts feeding in, like dude just said, be a whale in stacks, then you can diamond hand some Helios stakes, which would be pretty cool. So I always tell people if you're in between two difficult choices, make sure you get a nice bag of each, evaluate the risk of both, and get a nice bag of each.
That's my strategy as well. Like I don't go all in on anything. You can't be a maxi on anything because to me that for me it creates FOMO. Like if I'm all in on Bitcoin only, and I'm like, now I'm FOMOing Ethereum, or I'm all in on Titan X, and it's like, but there's all these other great protocols built on Titan X. So so to me, I like small. I like to distribute my portfolio, have it diversified, and you can see that like that's what the vision of Helios is
Yeah.
diversified portfolio. We have our Titan X treasury. We've started our Wonderland treasury, which is I'm excited to see that starting to grow. The Wonderland ecosystem is really picking up steam lately. I know it's not a whole lot, but we've doubled our money on that, and like it will continue to grow. So
Yeah,
it's
the Wonderland stuff is on Pulse, right?
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's directly supporting Giannis, which Giannis has been growing as well. And Giannis is burning HLX. Like all of these things are connected, and it's hard for maybe new users to see because there's so much going on, and it's like little nicks here and there, and like all of it added up really amounts to something, I think. And it's always growing. Like that's what we're looking at right now is we're going to add to these treasuries, and I think these NFTs are a great way to get, like I said, sustainable rewards that we don't have to sell our position. We just hold something and just earn on it. That yield bearing. So
Yeah. Wow.
and I've said same thing with like Blaze. Like we can just take our Blaze and stake it, and then earn ETH, and then use that ETH to buy and burn HLX, pay our stakers, add liquidity. Like these are all things that I'd like to look into, and I'm still trying to find the best avenue of doing DAO discussions. Like my preference was Telegram, but I'm finding that there's a lot of people that are not on Telegram.
Yeah.
There's not everybody's on X or YouTube, so I think the best route is to schedule something out in advance and then try to have this posted across all the platforms. So no matter what platform you're on, you can be informed and be a part of the conversation.
Well, I mean, yeah, one thing we could do is, I could, for example, if I know there's one coming up, if it's like on X or something, I could stream it through my stuff as well, and that might get more people in. And if other streamers get in and start streaming the DAO discussions, it could get a lot more eyeballs.
Yeah, Mo was suggesting the same. My thing is I just want to make sure that this stays concentrated on HLX discussions and not necessarily the greater Titan X ecosystem. As long as we stay on topic, and we talk about the vision of HLX specifically.
That might be hard to the Mo. That's not a dig. He understands it.
Yeah. He brings lots of value, though. I really love what he does for the Titan X ecosystem. So much value.
The Mo's a G. The Mo's a real G.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll probably try to wrap it up there. I think we've gone for a good amount of time there. I am sorry, guys, for the little technical issues we've had today with the internet connection and things. I hope it hasn't taken away from the viewing experience, but I still think we had a very good, valuable stream. We had some very nice alpha right at the end. So shout out to everyone who has watched the whole thing. You've definitely learned some juicy stuff right there. And we've got like 100 viewers, which is really good considering there's another big stream going on. So thank you everyone for coming. Dude, if there's anything you would like to say at the end there, then
just stay tuned is what I would say. There's going to be a part 3 here where we go over stacks specifically, and that's part of the Element ecosystem, so I'm excited to talk about that as well. Launching very soon, 11 days, something like that. And again, like, get involved. Like, the HLX is a DAO. It's the community. You speak with your money. If you've got stakes, liquid, miners, all of those things count as a vote. So no matter how you're involved in HLX, your voice matters. So I appreciate everybody that does come up and speak their voice, because I do want everybody's opinion to make sure that HLX is headed the direction that makes the community happy. Because that's what it is. It's community driven. So
yeah, awesome stuff, man. I mean, I'm so excited about stacks. I'm so pumped for that stream. Yeah, man. When that white paper came out, that was the first thing when I saw that come out, I just went straight through the whole thing. Super awesome, super bullish for that. And if you're an E280 holder, it's just so great for you. If you're an NFT holder, it's so great for you. If you're stacked holder, it's so great for you. So yeah, man. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that in the next one.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Cool. Yeah, man. It's a pleasure as always. And thank you for coming. Thank you for everyone who tuned in today. We're going to end it now. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their day, wherever you are. It's a bit later for me, but in the UK, 7:42. For some people, it's going to be early in the day. So wherever you are, guys, have a great day. Attack your day and just have, just enjoy it. And see you next time, probably next week.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Take care.
See ya.